It's like when I left to go to Bellator. Like I went out and did all my media and said, while it left on mutual agreement, we had an agreement.
Did you fight out your contract or you asked?
I left in the middle of my contract. I asked to get out.
You just said
it was just too much going on. Talked to my manager. They had a fight for me. Then that fight fell. Then they wanted me to fight another hype train. No fights or one fight. Like I'm not fighting another no name. Like I've been 15 fights. I'm fighting the top. Like why y'all keep giving me these guys without rankings? And then some came up and my manager's like, look, do you even want to be here anymore? And I just thought about it. And he's like, we can go somewhere else and try to free agent, try to get more money. And it just happened. It worked out. But it's kind of like
when you started looking for more money, like free agent, did you say like, well, they'll have to give me at least this amount for me to leave, or were you leaving?
We just left. It was
so
like,
you
left before you found out numbers.
I just left before anything.
So your offer could have been like, oh, I'll give you $100.
Yeah,
like,
it could have been anything, but it was just like at that point.
Wow, that takes a lot of balls.
It was just like
that takes a lot.
It was super scary
because your contract. I mean, the UFC. I mean, you could say what you want. It was definitely pretty good.
It was decent.
A living though.
But that's the thing. When I was sitting out there with DC and I told him how much I was making, his coach literally like laughed, like, "Huh? That's you 15 fights." He made more than his first fight. I'm like, what? Wow. I'm like, you got fit. That's all they paying you? And they're like, bro,
but
you
to
gotta
leave
get more
for nothing though.
But yeah, but when I left, that's the thing. I knew, and Ali said, like, you can go somewhere else. We can go get you some money somewhere else. There's money out there.
But people say that, but you're like,
you right. You was scared. But even Eddie Alvarez called me like, Corey, I'm gonna tell you right now. Like, I've been around the block. Like, you got the name. You're not leaving on losses. You leaving on your own. So your value is gonna be up. They're gonna pay you even more.
Yeah, it's not like a washed out guy.
Yeah, they ain't like, oh, we cut him. It was like just had a fight booked, and all of a sudden now he's released. So it's like they announced my fight, and then that guy got hurt, and I was released the next thing you know.
Yeah, like going is so much more like attractive to like fans than like I mean Anthony Pettis is a legendary fighter, but like when he left, he was kind of done.
Yeah, it was at the end of his contract. Did he win his last fight?
I think
he hasn't won.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it doesn't look great for the other divisions to bring in guys that are like kind of done, washed out of the UFC, because then it looks like they're lower. But someone at the peak of their career to move,
like someone like Bellator would like want you because it's good. Like it's good for them. It's not like they're not getting a retired fight, kind of retired fight or something.
Or a guy looking for one more paycheck.
Yeah.
Vanderlei Silva.
You're still like in the peak of your career, so it's attractive for them. So I think you taking that risk, not knowing, because like I didn't even realize, like I just assumed you probably like talk to Bellator or other places, kind of get some numbers, and then you make the decision. All right, now I'm gonna go.
You can't, because that didn't get you cut.
I know they say can't.
We talk to somebody and they do offer a number, and then you get back to Dana White, and we don't want to leave for it. Like, we're gonna let you go. It's like college. If you talk to another coach or another school when you're under contract, you're suspended now. Now you can't compete next year, and you lost that offer. It's like, so it's like Ali, like we just gonna take it, and you're gonna trust me, or you can be a star in the UFC, or you can go somewhere and make a lot of money, and you won't get as much notification because it's not UFC. Right. What do you want? And he was like, look, bro. And he called me. At first, like, I remember talking to Jim, like, I don't know what to do. And my phone rang right back. He like, I just heard your wife was pregnant. He didn't know Jim was pregnant.
Who said this?
Ali. He called me because he talked to DC. He's like, bro, you got a kid coming. We got to get you some money. I'm going to do everything I can to get you some money. So I think we got this release. We get this release, and we go from there. And then, like, literally, I was like, all right, get it. He sent me the paper. I signed it on my computer. And, like, 15 minutes later, my phone called, like, bro, we in the money. Like, what? He's like, you getting triple what you're getting. Like,
I would have been like, oh, my.
I was like, wait, just let me see. I don't believe that. And the contract came there. I was like, yo, sign that.
Yeah, that's amazing. Because that's what you, like, hope for. People always, it's so easy for people to say, like, even for me, like, I'm getting to the end of my contract, and people are like, oh, you should just go to Bellator or go to PFL. I'm like, well, it doesn't always work. I'm like, it's so easy to say that, but not everyone, like, you know, it's not every fighter that goes over gets that. Like, you know
not
what I mean?
Everybody get the bag.
And you don't know. Like, you probably just hope, like, well, if I can get at least the same.
And then when you went, you didn't know that the tournament was going to happen, right? So that was like a bonus.
Exactly.
When it started, it makes you guaranteed to fight often, because you might get paid a lot, but if you only fight once a year, it's not so good.
I was thinking when I left, it was just me, like the big top name coming over at first. So it was like Phil Davis had just lost to the champ. Bader had the belt. I can't remember how it went at the time, but like, Bader and the champ now is gonna fight. It's like the only person left is Corey came over with give him the title shot probably. So they gave him the contract, like championship clause right off the get go. And then all of a sudden when I announced how much money I was making, how much different it was, all of a sudden Yo left UFC. Anthony Rumble left his UFC contract. All these other small guys like, yo, I want to come over too. And now we got all these guys that came over to get paid.
Yeah, now that's a good division.
Yeah, but now I've made it kind of tough for myself. It's like, okay. So it went from, all right, maybe Corey will fight Yo or Rumble first. Then it's like, oh, then we got Yo. And they're like, we're just going to make a tournament. It's like, damn. Now I made myself further away from the belt.
But I think that makes it like, I mean, it's just payday.
Oh, yeah.
Because you got to get through the tournament.
More money now, and you still getting your money all the way up to the belt, plus that extra $1 million.
Plus, you're durable. It seems like you like to fight often.
Yeah,
right?
I'm young
the tournament's
and I'm
like the best for you. I think like the best thing going. And you don't cut like an insane amount of weight.
Not really. I mean, I just do it smart.
Yeah.
Get like 235, 240 at the max.
Yeah, that's big actually. Yeah.
Bring it down.
Mm-hmm. I feel like you've cut more. Like when you started, you didn't really cut that much.
Hell, I tried to make sure I stayed no heavier than 212. I had that written on the wall every night. Get on the scale before I go to bed. Right on the wall. Get on the scale. If you're over 212, go run. So if I was like 212.8, I would go run like 2 miles.
That's crazy because no one at 205 is that light.
But that was because that's why I got all those short notice fights though.
Yeah.
Like somebody got hurt on a week notice, like I can make the weight now.
Because that's important. Because like we train all the time. Like I always say, I'm like I could take a fight short notice. Like as far as like cardio and stuff, even you pick it up when you're in camp, but if not, I'm like I could definitely take a fight short notice, but I'm like I cut too much weight. I'm like I need at least like 3 or 4 weeks, but like 2 weeks is like no, I can't just because of the weight cut.
That Glover fight, we almost didn't make it.
Yeah,
I remember Frankie. I remember getting up the morning.
Whenever you fight overseas, it's harder too.
Yeah, day before weigh-ins, we had like
plastics?
17. Yeah, we had like 17 pounds left the day before weigh-ins, and like Frankie was like looking at me, I was like, bro, we ain't gonna make it. He was like, oh, we gonna make it.
You're like, at that point, you're like, let me just get close.
Exactly. So we calling everybody like, you guys have plastics. Like, what's plastics? So we going to all stores showing the picture. Like, you can't have that in Germany. Like, what do you mean you can't have that in Germany? Like, they can't make that here. What do you mean? Like, so what we gonna do for weight? I'm calling the UFC. Like, we can't find any.
Oh my god.
So we went to like a CVS and just bought a bunch of huge trash bags. Like we just
on the time you have to cut the most weight.
Yeah. Like we just put head holes on and just taped them all over. We had like 3 layers of bags on. Like we just gonna go work out until like we just can't work out no more, bro. And we did like 45 minutes on the lift school. I remember watching Eddie Murphy Raw. Then I went over to the bike and I ran on the incline for a while so I couldn't no more. Then he's like, all right, get on the recumbent bike. And we just pedaling. I remember looking over, like it's dark in the weight room. I'm the only one in there because everybody else using saunas or whatnot. And it's just sweat throughout the whole place. It's me just flooding.
17 pounds of water.
Like, yeah. My back like, all right, let's go roll now. So we changed clothes. Like, let's try to do mitts for a little bit. I'm like, I can't, bro. I'm dead. Like, I just lay on the mat and I'm just going to roll over you. Like, just shrimp and just keep moving. You do that for like an hour. I'm like, bro, I'm done. I can't. I'm not going to make it. Like, I'm done. And just get on the scale. Let's see. Pick me up, put me on the scale. It's like 206 flat. Like,
shut up.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Oh my God, we made it.
Because that usually doesn't happen. You usually get on and you're like 2 pounds over. And people are like, oh, you only 2 more. You're like, no, that means I'm not making it.
And then the idea of putting that stuff back on.
Exactly.
It's like,
but it hit flat. And I remember Jenny showed up at like 2 a.m. her flight, and she got to the hotel. And Frankie was in his own room or something. I got up, answered the door, and I was like a skeleton. I remember her just catching like, what's wrong? And she's like, what's wrong? I'm like, I made weight. They put me in the bed, like, just wake me up. It's time to go in. Like,
yeah.